But Ron Silk in the number 16, he has been strong here in the last couple of races at Riverhead Raceway, having 2 wins, both coming recently. And how about Patrick Emmerling in the 1? The last 2 tour races, he's gotten to victory lane on much different tracks, Thompson and Oswego. But here he comes into Riverhead, another track he's good at, where he can get the job done, and he's starting up close to the front of the field, and that Fleetworks number 1.
Let's set the stage, as this is the swing to the championship. And you look, as Eric Goodale in car number 58 pulls behind the Eddie Partridge Peterbilt in honor of his fallen crew chief, Jason Shepard. We lost Jason a few weeks back, one of the good guys in this whole entire racing deal. And Eric Goodale is hurting, his entire team is hurting. This entire racing family is hurting as we've lost Jason Shepard. But John Elwood and Rich Gerby, along with Bob Finan, came up with this Crew Chief of the Race award that Lou and Tracy Maestri started here at Riverhead Raceway for Joe DeGangi. $500 will go to the Crew Chief of the Race, but $250 of it, Rich Gerby from Highmark Building Efficiency will donate to the Shepard family. The other $250 will go to the winning crew chief of tonight's race. So thank you to Ironman Welding for providing the trophy. Thank you to Highmark Building Efficiency for sponsoring the crew chief of the race. And thank you to Jason Shepard for allowing us to honor, and his family for allowing us to honor him here tonight. Jason will be missed by this entire modified tour community.
And if you look closely at that number 58 of Eric Goodale, that car, the back panel of that car has been redesigned in honor of Jason Shepard. And I believe there is some redesigning on the number 46, another one of those Riverhead Building Supply cars. Obviously, those 2 cars very, very close in all the work that they do getting those cars here in the Whelen Modified Tour, and they are currently 3rd and 4th on the outside lane, nose to tail. As you can see that TV panel there on FloRacing, all of the pictures on the back of that number 58 of Eric Goodale, so a nice tribute to his crew chief.
Set the stage. We come into tonight's feature event. Justin Bonsignor, your point leader with 460. Ronnie Silk is second with 455, some 5 points back. Patrick Emmerling has come to third, 24 points back with 436. Austin Beers is 45 points back with 415, and Craig Lutz rounds out your top 5, 76 points back with 384. Monadnock on September 21st, North Wilkesboro on October the 5th, the Thompson Speedway on October 13th, and they ended at Martinsville with 10 on 10/26, the 26th of October. What a stretch for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, as they will fight right down to the final event to crown their 2024 champion. Justin Bonsignor on the initial start as your pole winner has the option to choose the inside or the outside. Bonsignor has chosen the outside. He set Timmy Salamito to the inside. 256 laps. We honor the big guy, Ed Partridge. We miss you, buddy, but we're going modified racing in your name as Connie Partridge throws the green flag.
Good side-by-side racing through 1 and 2. Justin Bonsignor pulls away on the outside, getting past Timmy Salamito. They all merge to the top side of the raceway. Bonsignor is going to lead lap 1. Austin Beer still trying to make the inside lane work. He's challenging for second now as they come off of turn 2.
Car number 51, Justin Bonsignor off to the early race lead as Timmy Salamito is shuffled into second, but here comes Austin Beers to the bottom. Ron Silk gets in line and he goes to the outside of the 64 car of Austin Beers.
Beers still trying to make that inside lane work. He's in a hard battle for third right now with Ron Silk. He gets a bit of ground in the middle of the corner on the bottom, but as they come off the corner, he loses that ground back here. He is continuing to try to dog it on the inside, while everyone else has seemed to move to the top side here early in the going. as now it looks like Silk is going to pull a nose there going into turn 3, and he might try to complete this pass here off of 4 down to the stripe, and it looks like he will. Beers still fighting hard on the inside.
Here comes the 46 of Craig Lutz now, also to the outside. I can see where Beers, they try to fill the hole here before Emmerling gets there, and Beers goes back to the top of the raceway, and they'll run nose to tail from 1st through 10th. Your race leader, car number 51, Justin Bonsignor. Timmy Salamito runs 2nd. 3rd is Ron Silk. Up to 4th, car number 46, Craig Lutz. 5th is the 64 of Austin Beers.
And it looks like this is the early plan among these drivers and crews is to get into a groove here, and they've all worked their way to the top side of the raceway. They're all running nose to tail right there as you go around the track. J.R. Bertuccio challenging Kyle Bonsignor towards the rear of the field. He's the first one down on the bottom. Looks like Jack Hanley Jr. in the 45, another one of the local drivers trying to make something work down there as well, as Bertuccio is able to get past Kyle Bonsignor using that inside lane there off of corner number 2.
10 laps into this event, they still run nose to tail. Not a lot of action early on. A lot of these cars are just going to try to settle in here and see where they can go, as Justin Bonsignor in the Phoenix Communications, number 51, continues to set the pace. Salamito now starting to get to the back bumper and looking to the inside down the back straightaway. Now they come to turn number 1, and Bonsignor is pulled away just a bit.
He's still being challenged hard, though, from the 66 of Timmy Salamito. A lot of these guys figuring out their race cars here in these first handful of laps, and really by handful, you can really say the first 50, 60, 70 laps of this event it will take to really figure out these cars and where you're going to be able to make your moves and where you're not going to be able to make your moves. It looks like Ron Silk peeked his nose there underneath the 66 of Timmy Salamito, getting back in line, and right there through turns 1 and 2, they got pretty low on the raceway. So trying new things out here early on, as you see the 16 of Silk back down low off of corner number 4, trying to make something work on the 66 of Timmy Salamito.
It's a 3-tire race. They're allowed to change 3 tires on a pit stop. We'll see what the strategy is. Some will try to stay out longer than others so they can put on new rubber for the final stretch of the event. Some drivers are starting to search to the bottom. Here comes Silk now with a look to the inside of Timmy Salamito.
And further back in the field, J.R. Bertuccio made another pass to the inside, getting by one of the Catalano cars there, and now is closing in on another Riverhead local, Jack Hanley Jr. But some of these drivers are able to make the inside lane work here, making passes. Right there, Silk looks like he's got a good run going down into corner number 3. He's going to be to the inside of Timmy Salamito. So the first one of these front few to try to make something happen on the bottom of the racetrack, it's going to be Ron Silk. And your 2-point leaders, nose to tail, 1st and 2nd here, as Silk has made the pass for 2nd and chases down Justin Bonsignor.
And as we showed in the open, these two battled. Last year's 256 with Justin Bonsignor coming out the victor. Car number 16, Ron Silk has come to the 2nd spot. To 3rd is Timmy Salamito. 4th is the 46 of Craig Lutz. 21 laps into this event, early stages. Right now, some of the cars are starting to look to the bottom of the raceway to see if they can get any kind of grip to get a run on the bottom to make a pass. Right now, Jack Hanley Jr. is to the back bumper of Eric Goodale, and Hanley has tried the bottom and made it work so far here tonight. Hanley now to the back bumper of Eric Goodale and to the inside.
And back up at the front of the field, Silk and Bonsignor have pulled away from Timmy Salamito. Salamito in the 66 still being challenged. As you can see there, Jack Hanley Jr. making that run to the inside of Eric Goodale. He's just working lap after lap, staying to the bottom of the 58. It seems like with each lap, he's getting a little bit closer. Right there, side by side up of corner number 2. He has a nose down the back straightaway, going into corner number 3. And off of corner number 4, Goodale lifts, and away with the spot goes Jack Hanley Jr.
And what you have right now, Silk now to the back bumper of Justin Bonsignor. Ron Silk, car number 16, to the back bumper of Justin Bonsignor.
They got one lap car there. Melissa Fifield, the 01, staying to the inside. They stay nose to tail here. Silk trying high and low. He gets a good run off the top, gets right to the back bumper, the number 51. Now looks a little lower off of corner number 4. Bonsignor sees it, stays in front of the 16 there. They're working around 1 and 2, and now they're catching a handful of lap traffic here as they go down towards 3 and 4.
And how typical is this one, Raymond? These two cars have broken away. They have been at the center of the battle. Oh, problem right there for Catalano as he goes around in car number 56. Trevor Catalano made contact with Tim Connolly and went around.
He's trying to get spun around here.
Caution flag out.
He was trying to get turned around there, and it looked like was having an issue. And that spin was right in front of our 2 leaders there, Justin Bonsignor and Ron Silk. So our first caution of the night here as Catalano spins around off of corner number 2, one solo spin.
Green flag back in the air. Justin Bonsignor with a good start. Here comes Craig Lutz to the outside.
Lutz making that outside lane work there early on Ron Silk. We saw Silk experimenting with the inside lane, running a little lower in the corners, and it was working out for him. He was able to get past Salamito as back further in the field. Patrick Emmerling now getting clear for position number 5, battling Jack Hanley Jr. A car on the wall on the front stretch a little bit. It looked like Austin Beers might have caught it, but he keeps it going.
Jack Hanley Jr., car number 45, regular here at Riverhead Raceway, using the bottom, as is J.R. Bertuccio, as they're coming to the front. Right now, the 51, Justin Bonsignor leads, and Ron Silk has come to second, now to third, the 46 car of Craig Lutz.
And Lutz trying to challenge Ron Silk for that position. Silk with a little bit of more breathing room there, but Silk not able quite yet to get to Justin Bonsignor, and Craig Lutz is not giving up on position number 2. They're all running single file up towards the top of the raceway here, maybe trying to get into a groove, but I can promise you that these drivers are not comfortable whatsoever. They are all going for it, and I can tell you Craig Lutz is definitely trying to run back down the 16. We saw how strong that car was at the restart. He's trying to grab one of those top couple spots here.
And if you watch on the restart, both Bonsignor and Silk took the way around the bottom, where earlier in the event they were running much higher. They're starting to bring their cars a little lower here now. As you can see, Bonsignor enters the corner at a lower angle. And so right now, the inside of the raceway is starting to pick up some speed, as Jack Hanley Jr. and J.R. Bertuccio have shown as they've come through this field.
And those guys running down there lap after lap, I'm sure it's putting some rubber down, adding some grip there for these guys up front to start experimenting with that. And we'll see who decides they really want to take it down low, like Jared Bertuccio, as we have a caution out on the raceway. It looks like the 54 has gone around.
Car number 54, Tommy Catalano, spins.
Give them that as they roll here into the restart zone. 200 laps to go. The green flag's back out in the air. Bonsignor and Silk send it down into corner number 1. And Silk with a good, strong run off of corner number 2. He's challenging Bonsignor for the lead. Here is Salamito in third. And off of corner number 4, Silk at the line that time by a nose.
Ronnie Silk to the inside, and Justin Bonsignor will come to position number 1. Timmy Salamito now heads to the inside of Bonsignor as well. Bonsignor able to hold off Salamito. Salamito solidly back to third. Craig Lutz to fourth. Jack Hanley Jr. has his hands full with Patrick Emmerling. Emmerling to the inside in car number 1. But right now, Jack Hanley Jr., who started this event from the 8th starting spot, he's come to 5th.
And Hanley has looked really strong up to this point in the race here early on. He has looked like a fierce competitor holding off these 4 regulars. Out there by himself, it looks like Patrick Emmerling in the 1 trying that inside lane is still losing ground here. He's being challenged by Austin Beers. Behind them is J.R. Bertuccio now in the 2, but Emmerling is able to find his way up to the line as here comes Justin Bonsignor back for the lead at turns 3 and 4.
Bonsignor with a move to the inside of Ron Silk. Bonsignor up the raceway. He and Silk make slight contact, but Justin Bonsignor in the Phoenix Communications number 51 takes a shot from Silk.
Silk back to the inside, getting back low, and now Bonsignor clears for the lead. Silk back to second, Salamito right there in third, and Craig Lutz still in fourth. The top 4 now single file. We'll wait to see if Ron Silk tries anything here to get back to the low side of Justin Bonsignor and back to the lead.
Easy, fellas. 64 laps down, make it 65 this time, by. Long way to go, and Bonsignor and Silk are already renewing that rivalry here at Riverhead Raceway.
These two have been the two to beat here at Riverhead Raceway in the last handful of races that we have run here between Justin Bonsignor's long tenure of winning here, 11 wins coming into tonight, and Silk's 2 wins that have both come very recently here. Silk all over the back bumper of the 51 of Bonsignor still as they go through turns 1 and 2. Both of these two have been 2 of the toughest ones to beat, and a couple of locals in the field. Jack Hanley Jr. in the 45, he has now cracked his way into the top 5, and Timmy Salamito still running strong in third. A lot of good front runners up here early.
The last 5 events here at Riverhead Raceway have either been won by Justin Bonsignor or Ron Silk. So these two continue to set the pace as they go around Melissa Fifield. Here on lap number 70, Justin Bonsignor, your race leader. Ron Silk is second. Timmy Salamito comes to third. While Craig Lutz is fourth, Jack Hanley Jr. is fifth. Austin Beers to the 6th spot, while Patrick Emmerling runs 7th. J.R. Bertuccio is 8th. 9th with a good run is Tyler Ripkema. And 10th in car number 58 is Eric Goodale.
And once again here up at the front of the field, as you see the field go by on FloRacing, Bonsignor and Silk have pulled away from Timmy Salamito. The front two have really extended their lead over the rest of the field as they go through turns 1 and 2. Bonsignor covering the low side, trying to keep Silk away. He is having to run top and bottom here. It looks like Silk's car is really good in both lanes, but Bonsignor able to keep him in his mirror up to this point here. And you know, you think for riding around here up early, they wouldn't be racing like this, but you could tell that both of these drivers really want to be in the lead and really want to be out in front, and they're working each other over for it as we have a spin on the backstretch.
Right in front of your leaders, Roger Turbish, car number 88 goes around. Turbish in the Cromer's Market, Ream Air Conditioning number 88 goes around. Well, they head to the Newsday Go Zone. 82 laps down, 83 as they take the green, and Justin Bonsignor gets back to the point. Timmy Salamito now feels a challenge to the outside from Craig Lutz.
Yeah, and I saw right there from the restart, Bonsignor really trying to pinch Ron Silk up there on the front stretch so that Bonsignor can have a better entry into corner number 1 and help get in front of the 16, and he's still in front of the 16. A lot of problems here with the lap car. Melissa Fifield here in the 0-1. It's really stacked up the field. Everyone trying to work around, and a big jumble up off of corner number 2 down the backstretch. Everyone just trying to work around the slow car, the 0-1 Melissa Fifield here, and we'll see if they're all able to do it or not.
Austin Beers, car number 46, got sideways. He got into the 45 of Jack Hanley Jr. Because of it, Hanley lost 2 spots as he was shuffled back, and Ron Silk down to the back bumper of Justin Bonsignor.
Mark Stewart just went all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack to get around the 0-1 of Fifield, all the way down to the apron. Was able to get around. We just saw Roger Turbish do something similar here off of corner number 4. But boy, it was really hectic there. As we take a look back up here at the front of the field, it's still Bonsignor and Silk. They're starting to pull away now, this time from Craig Lutz in the 46, who is now in third.
Melissa Fifield being shown the black flag, or that might be the move-over flag. We'll see.
No, that was the black flag. That was the black with the white cross, actually.
Yep, Fifield exiting the raceway.
Yeah.
As car number 51, Justin Bonsignor, continues to set the pace with Ron Silk second. Craig Lutz now has come back to third. Timmy Salamito runs fourth. Austin Beers, who was sideways a lap or so ago, is up to the 5th spot. 6th is car number 1, Patrick Emmerling.
And Silk is starting to do what he was doing earlier in the race. He's peeking his nose down low. Maybe a little contact there with the 51. Bonsignor looked a little sideways off of corner number 4. They hold it straight, though. And Silk continuing to start to peek his nose down here towards the bottom of the raceway. And I think Bonsignor's starting to pick up on that a little bit more now.
Bonsignor's making him work. He's making Silk look to the outside. If you look at Bonsignor, he's running in the middle of the groove. He's not giving the bottom of the top. So he's making Silk work to try and set him up. And in the interim, Silk is wearing that car out behind him, and Bonsignor is running at his pace as he runs about an 11.8, 11.820 right now. And Silk runs an 11.855. So they're running 1180s, but here goes Silk to the bottom.
And you got to wonder here, obviously, a lot of this also has to do with tire conservation, but obviously these two drivers contact right there. Bonsignor holds onto it, Silk stays back in second, but that was almost big right there for the two leaders. But they keep it going, and I got to wonder what these tires are going to look like at the end of this run when they change them.
And right now, Craig Lutz, because they're battling the way they are, Lutz is starting to reel them in car number 46.
Yeah, and I wonder if Craig Lutz has been trying to save his stuff up here. Him and Salamito were kind of running nose to tail, weren't doing too much with each other there during these green flag runs, and it might have saved Craig Lutz a little bit of stuff here, but he can use against these two. But it's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to get around Justin Bonsignor and Ron Silk.
And car number 64, Austin Beers, starting to put some pressure on the 66 of Timmy Salamito. Salamito feels the heat to the inside from Austin Beers. Beers right to the back bumper out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Also throw Patrick Emmerling into that mix in car number 1. Beers with a good run down the front straightaway on Timmy Salamito.
And we've seen some strength out of Austin Beers here at Riverhead Raceway. Obviously, not one of the regulars or not someone who grew up racing here like some of these other drivers here, but Austin Beers has gotten better and better. He, in fact, won the pole here in a tour race here not too long ago, so don't count out Austin Beers in any of these tour races we have at Riverhead.
Back to your leaders. Here comes Silk to the inside. Bonsignor still with a big run. Here's Beers again now to the inside of Salamito.
That might work there. Beers using that inside lane well. Salamito trying to drive off the top side, but into turns 1 and 2. Off of corner number 2, it's going to be Beers ahead of Salamito as Patrick Emmerling is now starting to work to try to get underneath Timmy Salamito in the 66.
Emmerling has quietly worked his way into the mix here with this group. Salamito currently 5th. Emmerling trying to come to the top 5 as Justin Bonsignor and Ron Silk continue to pull away now from Craig Lutz in car number 46.
And it looks like, and I could be deceived here in a couple of laps, we'll see, but it looks like they're starting to give each other a little bit of room. Obviously, they had that moment off of corner number 4. They almost sent Bonsignor around in a spin in turns 3 and 4 in front of our leaders.
Caution flag down for car number 01, Melissa Fifield. Right front flat tire, suspension damage on that car. A couple of other cars involved.
The leaders, I feel like a lot of these wrecks have happened right in front of Bonsignor and Silk, and I'm sure that's no surprise. You got your spotter telling you, hey, the leaders are coming, and they're getting ready to lap you. These guys are going to start getting antsy, and right there we see a couple cars going around. Again, right in front of the two leaders who looked like finally they were starting to give each other a little bit of room there.
And if you look down on pit road, a lot of the teams starting to get up. We're at lap 110. A lot of the teams getting ready to stage here to do a pit stop. Here's the replay. Fifield to the inside. So Catalano into the back of Turbish. Fifield just a victim there.
Yeah.
I see it again here. Catalano into the back of Turbish, and then Fifield into Catalano.
Just
I think, is that Ken Hagee that got into the back of her?
That might have been. It looked like it was just the slightest nudge, too.
Some of these teams still have a tire. We'll see what they do.
Rolling into turns 3 and 4. It's the Mystic Missile taking the green flag. He's a control car, but has all sorts of problems on that restart. That's going to open up the top side for Bonsignor. He's going to clear for the lead. They're 3 wide for second with Goodale on the top side and a lot of contact going into 3 and 4. It looks like Silk could get away with second here as he's on the inside of Goodale. He's going to clear Eric Goodale back to 3rd. Patrick Emmerling is up to 4th. And in 5th right now is Austin Beers in the 64 as a wild restart here and more contact going on throughout the field.
It's like a wrestling match to start this one. So we had a good restart here for Justin Bonsignor. Ron Silk had to make some evasive moves to the inside to get around Tim Connolly, while Eric Goodale had made his way to the outside and he sits 3rd. Patrick Emmerling, car number 1, The hottest guy on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour has come to the 4th spot. Silk now to the inside of Bonsignor.
And close quarter racing off of corner number 2. Silk with a deep drive at a corner number 3. Is Bonsignor going to cross back to the inside? He is off of corner number 4. Back to the inside through corners 1 and 2. And off of corner number 2, they are side by side. Eric Goodale on the charge in 3rd. He is going to challenge these two for the lead as it's Bonsignor at the line that time. Silk right back to the back bumper of Bonsignor through corners 1 and 2.
It's good to see that Bonsignor and Silk are taking it easy on one another here on lap 137. But Ronnie Silk and Justin Bonsignor doing what they do, racing as hard as they can, racing each other with a little give and take. But right now, what a battle for your race lead for the Eddie Partridge 256. As Justin Bonsignor is your race leader, Ron Silk runs 2nd, and Eric Goodale has come to 3rd.
And Goodale's got to be sitting here just waiting to see what's happening. Right now, he's losing a little bit of ground to the leaders, and a lot of contact there off of corner number 2. Silk goes back to the lead, Bonsignor back to 2nd, and Eric Goodale just waiting to see what happens, and just hoping that if there is any sort of mess that breaks out, he doesn't get collected in it, because he's in the catbird seat right now if anything breaks out between those two. But right now, Silk pulling away a little bit from Justin Bonsignor. I can't believe they were beating and banging, and they were still pulling away from the rest of the field, Steve.
And I think right now, Silk and Bonsignor especially, he said to himself, okay, there's 140 laps into this race. Let's relax here for a little bit. Let's get in line. Ronnie wants to lead, let him lead. And Bonsignor, as you can see, he's starting to reel him right back in. So maybe he doesn't want to let him lead.
I feel like the crew chiefs might have gotten over the horn on these guys too and said, hey, we just worked on these race cars. We were just down a pit road. We don't need to be back down there again. We have this thing set up where we made our adjustments. We changed our tires. We're back out in the front of the field still. Let's take it easy here. We still got a lot of racing left to go as they have pulled away now from Eric Goodale. But Justin Bonsignor is staying in striking distance of the 16.
Austin Beers now starting to look to the inside of Patrick Emmerling's number 1. Beers has had a good start to this event. He's been solid from the drop of the green flag. And right now, he's starting to make a move to the inside of Emmerling. He's back to the rear bumper, and right now, car number 1, Patrick Emmerling, has a mirror full of the 64 car, my apologies, of Austin Beers. Beers, in his rear mirror, sees the 46 car of Craig Lutz, while Eric Goodale leads that pack of cars.
And they are losing ground still to the 16 and the 51, but they're about to have a battle to settle amongst themselves here. Emmerling just looking to get around that 58 car of Eric Goodale so he can set it up with the 2-point leaders. Remember, he's trying to close in this points deficit that he has. He came in 24 points back of Justin Bonsignor, the point leader. So after the 2 strong runs he's had, he's looking to triple down. Hopefully grab his 3rd straight win here in the Whelen Modified Tour, but more importantly, to close in that gap on these point leaders.
Right now, Goodale, car number 58, continues to set the pace of that group. And what Emmerling doesn't want to do is try to go to the outside of Goodale, because that'll open the bottom for the 64 car of Austin Beers.
And off of corner number 2, Beers still trying to work over the one of Patrick Emmerling. Is back up at the front of the field. Ron Silk pulling away a little bit there from Justin Bonsignor. But once again here in about a lap or 2, they're going to have a little bit of lap traffic coming up ahead. And it feels like we really haven't seen too much of the lap traffic, because it seems like as soon as they get to them, a caution comes out. That they really haven't had to deal with a tremendous amount of lap traffic yet, but it looks like here in a couple of laps they will.
And the lap traffic they're approaching is having their own personal battle as Tim Connolly feels the heat to the inside from car number 84 of Tyler Catalano. Catalano and Ken Heggie both trying to get to the inside of Connolly as your leaders approach.
And remember, this restart, Connolly was the leader. He was a control car. You can see all sorts of problems, but he stayed out. Everyone else came in, and he put himself in the front of the field here. It was a great effort, but right from the get-go, it didn't seem to work out, and now Connolly has lost the laps to both Silk and Bonsignor as they continue to work through this little gaggle of lap cars.
Ron Silk right now setting a 11.977 is the pace he's running He and Bonsignor, the only two cars under 12 seconds right now.
And they're under 12 seconds in the middle of lap traffic, too. They're navigating these lap cars and still running sub 12-second lap times. It just shows how fast those two race cars are and why they're pulling away from everybody right now. They're looking to settle this race amongst themselves.
96 laps remain as Patrick Emmerling now all over the back bumper of Eric Goodale. Goodale with a great strategy to get himself to the top three, and he's done an excellent job to continue to run in that third place. Bonsignor starting to reel in Silk with some open racetrack.
And that battle right there, you can see on FloRacing off of corner number 4. Emmerling is starting to peak really low off the corners here to try to get to the inside of Eric Goodale. It's just not working as of yet, though, as Goodale rotates through 3 and 4. Emmerling still right in his tire tracks. He also has to still worry about Austin Beers and Craig Lutz behind him. As this 4-car battle, everyone really just trying to figure out who's going to make the move and make it where. So you could try to make that move, but you could also end up losing spots just as easy as you can gain them.
And right now, the advantage for Goodale is he's got very good drive off the corner. Here comes the 1 car, Emmerling to the inside.
It looked like Goodale might have slipped a little bit off the corner.
Yeah, he just got, and see, this is what we were saying. He gets up high and loses 3 spots. And here comes Kyle Bonsignor in car number 22. He tries to get by Goodale as well. Just 1 slip up, that's all it was for Eric Goodale.
And you can see how tough it is to recover once you lose that momentum. These drivers are swallowing up Eric Goodale right now. He continues to lose spots. He's trying to face Jack Hanley Jr., who is to his inside here, and it looks like Goodale's going to lose another spot. So the Riverhead local, the local racer here, Jack Hanley Jr., who is having a great night thus far in the 45, making a pass there for position. As they come off turn 2, back up at the front of the field, it's still Silk and Bonsignor, and Bonsignor had closed in that gap on Ron Silk, but it's now he's starting to fall back a little bit again.
Yeah, open raceway for Ron Silk. Bonsignor is driving it in hard. If you take a look here, you can see Bonsignor is better in the corner, but Silk is much better off the corner.
And I wonder if Bonsignor, he closed up and now he falls back. If he's just trying to see, can he make that run and how quickly and how good of a run can he get on the 16 of Ron Silk here? Maybe trying to set things up late in the race here, if he can make that charge or not, and just trying to gauge on when he's going to have to make his move.
And he's not putting any pressure on Silk. So what he would want to do if he did put the pressure on him was try to wear Silk out. But right now, Ronnie Silk's still running an 11.87, 11.946 that time by Bonsignor, ran an 11.933. So slightly faster, but right now Ron Silk continues to be in control in car number 16.
And they're starting to catch a little bit of more lap traffic. And if you look at some of the cars that they're starting to catch
it's
here,
good lap traffic. It's good cars.
Good cars, 2 of which, Timmy Salamito and Eric Goodale.
Yeah.
That's a surprise. We saw how strong Salamito was early in this race, and we saw just before that Eric Goodale was running third and had that little slip up. And now all of a sudden he's in danger of falling down a lap to these guys.
And remember, he changed tires on 79, and then it changed 1 more tire. They just put tires on 110, lap 110. So for Goodale, his tires were 40 laps older. But right now, Eric Goodale running with Timmy Salamito. And right now, look at this battle between Austin Beers in the 64 and Craig Lutz.
Lutz still trying to work over the 64 of Beers. Patrick Emmerling has started to pull away from them as he is currently running in third at the moment. This is a battle for fourth, as Beers still leading over Craig Lutz. They run nose to tail right now. Lutz trying to run a little bit higher, maybe off the corner to try to drive down the backstretch going into 3.
Don't look now, but look at your race lead as Justin Bonsignor has reeled in Ronnie Silk.
He's trying another move. I think he's just trying to close back in here again, trying to see how much of a charge he can make. I'm sure he's trying to go for the lead right now.
Oh, he got into him.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, when Silk went by him, they made contact. Bonsignor's been thinking about that for many laps, and he'll come back to the lead.
Just waiting for his moment there, and he gets back to the lead here. We'll see what Silk can do to challenge Justin Bonsignor back for that lead, as the 16 of Silk looks a little lower off of corner number 4, but they stay nose to tail going into corner number 1. More lap traffic coming up ahead. Eric Goodale, Tim Connolly, and Timmy Salamito. 3 cars up ahead of these leaders who are having their own battle. So this is all going to start to clash here in a couple of laps, I think.
Just about 70 laps to go. It'll be 71 to go this time by, and Ron Silk's not going to go away. Bonsignor made contact with him, but he knows Ron Silk's going to be right there in his rearview mirror till the end of this thing.
Oh yeah, it is far from over. And these two, it seems like every single race we have here on the Whelen Modified Tour, that these two drivers just find each other on the racetrack and they don't get away from each other. They're always around each other and they run hard against each other. And we're going to see nothing different here tonight as Ron Silk and Justin Bonsignor, they're finding their way in lap traffic now, side by side in front of them with Goodale and Connolly.
Eric Goodale trying to stay on the lead lap, gets to the inside of Tim Connolly, but here comes Justin Bonsignor. Bonsignor and Connolly. Here comes Silk now.
Yeah, that's going to open up the top side for Silk. Silk's just going to try to figure out where Bonsignor is. Now Bonsignor's going to try to use Connolly here as a pick, maybe. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. And now he's going to have to try the outside of Eric Goodale. But this has got to be frustrating for those leaders. You have such fast cars, and you just want to settle this race amongst yourselves. But there's still other drivers out there right now, and Justin Bonsignor and Ron Silk are having to deal with them at the moment.
Yep, and they're both doing a great job coming through lap traffic. Oh, Tim Connolly, car number 4, goes around.
Just snapped around on him off of corner number 4. He had just been lapped by our leaders, and it looked like that car just completely snapped around on him off of corner number 4. Doesn't look like he has any flat tires. Rolling here to 3 and 4 to take the green flag. Bonsignor picks the inside over Silk. They're back underway here. They're side by side, and Silk trying to beat Bonsignor into corner number 1. A lot of contact. They go up the hill and off the corner. Bonsignor has it by half of a car, and now up the hill goes Silk. Emerling trying to challenge for position number 2. They're all beating and banging as they go into corner number 1. And off the corner, it is Bonsignor over Silk. Lutz is in 3rd by a nose over Emerling. And they come off of corner number 4. Car in the wall. It's Ripkema in the 3, but he keeps it going.
Bonsignor got loose on that start. Silk rode to the outside. Bonsignor sent it in a ton. They went up the hill, everyone got bottled together, and now Bonsignor is starting to pull away in car number 51.
And obviously we can't count out Ronnie Silk. I'm sure he's just trying to get a handle back on that race car. Had a little bit of a wild restart for himself there, starting up on the outside. It got a little hairy going into corner number 3, but he's closing back in on the 51 of Justin Bonsignor. Craig Lutz back in 3rd as you feel the field going by on flow. They go through turns 1 and 2. Emerling challenging Lutz for 3rd here, and behind them it's Old Blue and a new driver in Old Blue, Tyler Ripkema in the 3.
Right now, you're about a Saturday night feature event away from the end of this race. 50 laps to go this time by for Justin Bonsignor. Ron Silk runs 2nd. Craig Lutz is 3rd. Patrick Emerling 4th, and Tyler Ripkema in car number 3 has come to 5th.
Bonsignor's just sitting there saying, all right, it's a typical 50-lapper here at Riverhead, just like we always see here in these modifieds. And Justin Bonsignor is going to make that mirror and that rear bumper awfully wide here, but try to keep the 16 behind him. Silk has yet to make a true challenge for the lead up to this point, but he's closing back in on the 51 with each lap, Steve.
And if you look at Bonsignor, you see him, he's struggling getting in the corner. Right here, you can see the car bottoms out. He gets a little spark, and Silk's able to get to the back bumper.
He actually did. He pushed Justin Bonsignor off the corner that time. He's right back to the back bumper of the 51. They've got a lap car, Ken Hagee to the inside. They will both work by the 18 fairly easy. Craig Lutz now in 3rd in the number 46, waiting to see what happens. He's another Long Island local here on the Whelen Modified Tour. Back here in the Goody Racing number 46. Waiting to see what the top 2 drivers will do here as Bonsignor and Silk still remain 1 and 2. They're quickly approaching a couple of lap cars here, though.
Lutz might be in the greatest spot in this place right now as the aggression level is starting to go up between Justin Bonsignor and Ronnie Silk. Silk now to the back bumper once again.
And you feel like this is going to come to a head at some point in this race with these two drivers here as they work the top side right now. They've got all the bottom of that racetrack, and we've seen what both of them have been able to do getting down to the low side here. And we may see it in a couple of laps as they approach some lap cars. J.R. Bertuccio and Mark Stewart, the two in the 81, as a car in trouble up in corners 1 and 2. That'll bring out a caution.
Also involved, car number 88, Roger Turbish, and the 4 of Tim Connolly.
I saw some sparks, it looked like.
Pace car to the infield. Bonsignor, loose again. Here comes Silk to the outside.
And Silk wasn't going to let Bonsignor pinch him up high there. Silk got him right back down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're side by side through 3 and 4. Bonsignor off the bottom. Silk up top. Bonsignor by a nose at the line. Greg Lutz riding in 3rd. Tyler Ripkema is up to 4th in Old Blue, number 3. As they are still side by side for the lead off of 4. Bonsignor is going to clear Ronnie Silk, but Silk up on the top side, going to try to get back to his outside here. That time Bonsignor clears him as they go off into 3.
Here comes Timmy Solomito in car number 66 to the inside. Solomito to the inside of Tyler Ripkema for the 4th spot.
And this looks like the initial start we had as the caution flag is out again. It's the 4-car around in corner number 1.
Tim Connolly, car number 4, with a problem. They head to the Newsday Go Zone. The 51 loose again. Here comes Silk to the outside. Bonsignor with a better run that time, but here comes Ron Silk. They touch. Silk into the wall.
Bonsignor's keeping him up there, and he uses that to drive off the corner. A lot of contact. And
here comes Solomito.
Oh, man, I don't know how Timmy Solomito didn't wreck, and he ended up gaining 2 spots out of it.
Justin Bonsignor leads. Ron Silk to 2nd. Here comes Craig Lutz back on the outside, but he's feeling the heat to the inside from Solomito.
Solomito was trying to make the bottom work that last restart, and it was working out for him. Now he's up the track sideways, hangs on to it. Battling with Tyler Ripkema on the 3, a lot of more contact.
Here comes Silk to the lead.
Oh, Bonsignor has a problem. Lutz is up to 2nd. I don't know what happened to Bonsignor there. He was way out of the throttle, and he's lost multiple spots and more contact. Emmerling now into the side of Bonsignor, and was just about sideways. They're 3 wide behind him.
The left front tire on Bonsignor is in big trouble.
Oh,
Look at it pointed to the infield.
Oh, my goodness.
Left front suspension damage for Justin Bonsignor, your point leader.
And Lutz is running down Ron Silk for the lead.
Ron Silk, 244 laps down. Bonsignor trying to hang on. Left front tire pointed to the infield.
Your point leader. I can't believe that.
12 laps to go, make it 11 this time by for Ron Silk.
Lutz is not going away here. He's going to give it his all for all of these laps here as we're coming to 10 to go. Can Craig Lutz chase down Ron Silk as we have a spin on the backstretch? Roger Turbish goes around and is into the inside wall for the caution.
Caution will come down for car number 88, Roger Turbish. Craig Lutz to the outside. They'll come to the green flag with 4 to go.
Silk with a great restart. He's able to get right in front of Lutz. Lutz is not going to let him get away. Silk with a good drive of corner number 2. Ripkema to the inside. Lutz to the back bumper of Silk. They come down to the stripe. Silk pulling away now once again, but Lutz is not going to let it happen. Battling behind them, it's Emmerling. As they come to 2 to go.
2 laps remain for Ron Silk. Silk looking to take down his 2nd win this year at Riverhead Raceway. And his 4th over the last 5 races, making 6 races. Ron Silk takes the white flag and he heads down the back straightaway. And for the first time in his career in this event, he's going to win one for his old car owner, Eddie Partridge. Checkered flag flies. And he did it for his car owner, his old car owner, Eddie Partridge. Ronnie Silk has won the Ed Partridge 256. What a job by Ronnie Silk. Craig Lutz, car number 46, comes home second. Tyler Ripkema, car number 3, comes home third. But Ron Silk, for the third time in his career here at Riverhead Raceway, is a feature event winner.
Check. Check, check.
What a battle between Ron Silk, Justin Bonsignor. Great restart by Silk. On the final restart, Ronnie Silk. Phil Moran wrenched. Number 16 wins the Ed Partridge 256 for his old car owner. Ed Partridge and Connie Partridge. Silk won a modified tour championship with the TS Haulers team. He will be so happy to have won this race for Eddie Partridge.
And out of the car he comes, Ron Silk, winner tonight. The number 16 is going to receive congratulations from his crew. Ron, congratulations on the win here tonight. It didn't come without a bit of contact. We got to talk about that. You and Justin Bonsignor, walk me through exactly what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of contact most of the race between both of us. I don't know what happened to him there on the last one. I know I got under him. We made contact just like the lap before that when I was on the outside of him. So just happy to win. Drove for Eddie Partridge for a number of years. It means a lot to me to win his race here, and just pumped. Good night.
This really hits home for you. You spoke to it, but seeing the hauler behind you and everyone come together, though, does this one stick out as even respectful to that?
Yeah, I mean, they're all special, but to win this one in Eddie's honor at his racetrack is really pretty cool. He did a lot of great things for me over the years, and it's cool to win his race.
Well, congratulations. And this is ultimately going to bring you out on top on the point standings again. Race fans, put your hands together. Number 16, Ron Silk.